Hey class, Mrs. Gilling back here. I am going to give you some instructions on your project number one, all about operant conditioning and game design. Before I really get into that, I just want to give you a quick reminder that all of the projects for this course are actually found at the very end of the course in Unit 5. I'm giving you this video now because the information that you would use to kind of complete this assignment, you're in that spot of the course. So now would actually be a really great time to go and complete that project. But I've put them there in unit 5 with there's something in the unit where you can just access it. It's not locked. You don't have to complete anything to get to it. You can go to those projects whenever you want so that you have easy access and do them when you are ready and you have time. So keep that in mind. It's totally there for you to go to right now and get it done. But if you're in a part today where you're like, you know what, I just want to keep rolling through the course, I don't have time to get a project done, that's okay. Just make sure that you get to it at some point. So totally beneficial to get it done early. But if you're not there, you're not ready yet, I totally understand. Just make sure that that's something you get done because these projects are worth a lot. But that's where they're found in Unit 5. You can click on them right now. Before we get into the project requirements, though, I've got a joke for you. Why don't oysters give to charity? Because they are shellfish. Get it? Selfish. Shellfish. I crack myself up. All right, here's your prompt for your project for operant conditioning and game design. Operant conditioning is a way of learning that involves pairing behaviors with consequences, specifically rewards or punishments. In this project, you will pick one of your favorite games or sports and explain how operant conditioning is involved. You may choose to write a 5 paragraph essay or complete a slideshow presentation. Here are the requirements for both options. So, step number one, you're going to have an introduction worth 15 points. So, in at least 3 sentences or bullet points. If you're doing the paragraph, if you're doing the essay, obviously you're going to do sentences. If you're doing a slideshow presentation, you can choose to do sentences or you can do bullet points. But the bullet points can't just be one word, right? Like, give some substance to them. So, in at least 3 sentences or bullet points, start with an attention grabber, like a short story, a quote, an interesting fact. Then state your thesis statement. That's your main point. Let the reader know that you're going to be discussing operant conditioning and game design. Then list your 3 main points. So, here's an example of what an introduction might look like. Did you know that soccer is the most popular sport in the world? That would be your attention grabber. Not only is it a fast paced and exciting game, but it also teaches us a lot about operant conditioning. Operant conditioning is very present in soccer. In this essay, I will explain a little bit about the rules of soccer and how rewards and punishments each play a role in the sport. So, your 3 main points there are the rules of soccer, and then the second is how rewards play a role in the sport, and then the third is the punishments and how they play a role in the sport. So, 15 points for your introduction. Step number 2, your body paragraph, or slide number 1 if you're doing the slideshow option, and they're worth 20 points. So, in at least 5 sentences or bullet points, explain the basic rules of the game or sport that you chose. Pretend that the reader doesn't know anything about the game or sport. Be descriptive. So, if there's a friend that says, "Hey, what sports do you like?" And you say, "Hey, I like to play soccer," and they've never heard of soccer before, and they say, "Well, what's that?" You would explain the rules of the game. Just explain the objective and what you've got to do. And remember, it can be a game like a board game, a card game, or a sport like soccer, basketball. Step number 3, body paragraph or slide number 2, worth 20 points. In at least 5 sentences or bullet points, analyze how rewards are involved in the sport or game that you chose. Make sure to include at least one specific example of a reward that is present. And then explain how rewards impact how you play the game, right? So, for instance, going back to the soccer example, a reward in soccer is when you score a point. And when you score the point, everyone's jumping up and they're excited and they're cheering for you. That's a reward. Like the clapping that you get, that's a reward that you might get. And then the way it impacts how you play the game, you're going to want people to cheer for you. So you're not going to want to make mistakes because you're going to want them to be happy and cheer. So you're going to try to take like a super cool shot to make it into the goal because you know that when you make that shot into the goal, everybody's going to go cheer for you. Step number 4, body paragraph or slide number 3, worth 20 points. In at least 5 sentences or bullet points, analyze how punishments are involved in the game or sport that you chose. Make sure to include at least one specific example of a punishment that is present, and explain how punishments impact how you play the game. So going back to soccer again, if you like trip someone or hurt them, you can get carded and then you aren't allowed to play for a little bit of the game. So that's like a literal punishment in the game. So knowing that punishment happens, it impacts the way you play the game because you're going to try to keep your cool and not trip people or make contacts with them because you're not going to want to be taken out of the game. So you're going to try to give people their space, be polite, because you want to keep playing and not get fouled out there. Step number 5, concluding paragraph or slide worth 15 points. So on at least 3 sentences or bullet points, wrap up your essay or slideshow. So, remind everybody what you talked about, restate your thesis statement, and your 3 main points. And then you get 10 points for grammar and overall appearance. So double check your spelling, punctuation, your formatting. If you do the slideshow option, pick a fun theme. Don't just do boring black and white. Like, pick something fun and then include at least one picture on each slide. In the instructions for the assignment, I have included some examples for you to look at so you can see some good quality student work and get some ideas there. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm here for you. Other than that, good luck, guys. I know you're going to do awesome, and I'm excited to see what you come up with. Thanks.